As the Philippines continues to modernize and integrate into the global economy, Black Filipinos face both significant challenges and new opportunities. On the one hand, the pressures of globalization, urbanization, and environmental degradation pose serious threats to their way of life. On the other hand, there are growing movements for indigenous rights and environmental justice that offer hope for a more inclusive future for Black Filipinos. One of the most pressing challenges facing Black Filipinos today is the ongoing threat of land displacement. As commercial interests continue to expand into remote regions of the Philippines, Black Filipino communities are increasingly at risk of losing their ancestral lands. Mining, logging, and agricultural projects often encroach on indigenous territories, displacing communities and destroying the natural environment on which they depend. This is compounded by the effects of climate change, which has led to more frequent natural disasters, such as typhoons and droughts, that disproportionately affect Black Filipino communities living in vulnerable areas. In addition to land displacement, Black Filipinos continue to face economic marginalization. Many Black Filipino communities live in poverty, with limited access to basic services such as healthcare, education, and clean water. The geographic isolation of many Black Filipino communities makes it difficult for them to access government services and participate in the national economy. As a result, many Black Filipinos continue to rely on subsistence farming, hunting, and foraging, even as these traditional ways of life become increasingly unsustainable in the face of environmental and economic pressures. Despite these challenges, there are also new opportunities for Black Filipinos in the 21st century. The growing movement for indigenous rights, both in the Philippines and globally, has brought increased attention to the struggles of Black Filipinos and other indigenous peoples. International organizations such as the United Nations and various non-governmental organizations, NGOs, have provided support for indigenous communities in their fight for land rights and cultural preservation. In the Philippines, indigenous activists have formed alliances with environmental and human rights organizations, working together to defend their lands and promote sustainable development. Black Filipinos have also found new ways to assert their identity and share their stories with the world. Social media has become a powerful tool for raising awareness about the struggles and achievements of Black Filipinos, allowing them to connect with a global audience and build solidarity with other indigenous peoples. Online platforms have provided a space for Black Filipinos to showcase their cultural practices, share their experiences of discrimination and marginalization, and advocate for their rights. In addition, there has been a growing recognition of the contributions that Black Filipinos have made to Philippine society and culture. For centuries, Black Filipinos have been portrayed as marginal figures in the national narrative, their histories and cultures overshadowed by the dominant lowland Christianized populations. However, recent efforts by scholars, activists, and cultural workers have sought to highlight the rich cultural heritage of Black Filipinos and their role in shaping the Philippines' history and identity. Education has also become an important arena for Black Filipinos in their fight for recognition and inclusion. There are growing efforts to incorporate indigenous histories and perspectives into the national curriculum, ensuring that future generations of Filipinos learn about the contributions of Black Filipinos and other indigenous groups to the country's history. These efforts are crucial in challenging the stereotypes and misconceptions that have long marginalized Black Filipinos and fostering a more inclusive understanding of Filipino identity. The future of Black Filipinos will depend on their ability to navigate the challenges of a rapidly changing world while maintaining their cultural identity and connection to their ancestral lands. As they face the pressures of modernization, globalization, and environmental degradation, Black Filipinos will need to continue to assert their rights, both as indigenous peoples and as citizens of the Philippines. At the same time, they will need to find new ways to adapt to the changing world, embracing new forms of activism, cultural expression, and economic participation. The future of Black Filipinos is also intertwined with broader national and global movements for social justice and environmental sustainability. As the world grapples with issues such as climate change, economic inequality, and human rights, Black Filipinos find themselves at the intersection of these global challenges and their local realities. Their experiences offer valuable insights into the impacts of these issues on marginalized communities and highlight the need for inclusive and equitable solutions. Climate change is one of the most pressing challenges facing the world today, and its effects are particularly severe for marginalized communities, including Black Filipinos. Many Black Filipino communities live in ecologically sensitive areas that are highly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, such as extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and changes in agricultural conditions. The degradation of their natural environment not only threatens their livelihoods, but also undermines their cultural practices and traditional knowledge, which are closely tied to the land. Efforts to address climate change must include a focus on environmental justice, ensuring that the voices and needs of marginalized communities are heard and addressed. Black Filipinos have a deep understanding of their environment and have developed traditional knowledge and practices that can contribute to sustainable solutions. Recognizing and incorporating this knowledge into climate change adaptation and mitigation strategies is crucial for creating effective and inclusive solutions. Economic development remains a critical issue for Black Filipinos, who continue to face high levels of poverty and limited access to economic opportunities. Addressing economic disparities requires a multifaceted approach that includes improving access to education, healthcare, and infrastructure, as well as supporting sustainable livelihoods and entrepreneurship. Education plays a key role in economic empowerment, providing individuals with the skills and knowledge needed to participate in a modern economy. Efforts to improve educational access and quality for Black Filipinos can help break the cycle of poverty and create pathways for economic advancement. Additionally, supporting traditional crafts, agriculture, and other local industries can help preserve cultural heritage while providing economic opportunities. The preservation and revitalization of Black Filipino cultures are essential for maintaining their unique identities and contributions to Philippine society. Efforts to document, celebrate, and promote traditional practices, languages, and knowledge are crucial for ensuring that these cultural elements are passed on to future generations. Cultural revitalization can take many forms, from the revival of traditional ceremonies and rituals to the promotion of indigenous arts and crafts. Supporting cultural events, festivals, and educational programs that highlight Black Filipino heritage can help raise awareness and foster a greater appreciation for their contributions to Philippine culture. Political representation and advocacy are vital for ensuring that the needs and rights of Black Filipinos are addressed at the national level. Increasing the political participation of Black Filipinos and supporting indigenous leaders and organizations can help ensure that their voices are heard in policy discussions and decision-making processes. Advocacy efforts can also focus on securing legal protections and implementing existing laws, such as the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act, to ensure that Black Filipinos have access to their ancestral lands, resources, and rights. Building alliances with other marginalized groups and human rights organizations can strengthen advocacy efforts and promote a more inclusive and equitable society. Building solidarity and alliances with other marginalized communities, both within the Philippines and internationally, can strengthen the efforts of Black Filipinos in their struggle for justice and equality. Collaborating with other indigenous groups, environmental organizations, human rights activists can amplify their voices and create a broader movement for social and environmental justice. International support and solidarity can also play a significant role in advancing the rights of Black Filipinos. Global networks and organizations can provide resources, advocacy, and visibility for their struggles, helping to bring attention to their issues and build international pressure for change. The future of Black Filipinos is shaped by their ability to navigate the complexities of a rapidly changing world while staying true to their cultural heritage and values. Embracing a vision for the future that balances tradition and modernity, resistance and adaptation, is essential for creating a more just and equitable society. This vision includes not only addressing immediate challenges, but also fostering a sense of hope and possibility for future generations. By investing in education, cultural preservation, and economic development, Black Filipinos can build a future that honors their past and empowers their communities to thrive. In conclusion, the story of Black Filipinos is one of resilience, resistance, and hope. Despite centuries of marginalization and challenges, they continue to assert their identity, defend their rights, and contribute to the rich tapestry of Philippine society. As they face the future, Black Filipinos have the opportunity to shape their own destinies and build a more inclusive and equitable world. The struggles and achievements of Black Filipinos offer valuable lessons for all communities in their quest for justice, equality, and sustainability.